Could bee products scientifically have an interesting ability to help fight some viruses? In this video, we look at a scientific paper that examined exactly this question. The article suggests that some bee products, due to their bioactive compounds, have shown promising antiviral potential and deserve further study. The article we are examining is a review paper. The authors brought together previous studies to see what the overall scientific picture looks like regarding bee products. The main focus of the paper is to examine the different bee products, from honey and propolis to pollen, bee bread, royal jelly, bee venom, and beeswax, what compounds they contain, and whether there is evidence of antiviral activity for them. Overall, the article concludes that bee products, largely due to their bioactive compounds, have shown significant antiviral effects across a range of studies. One of the most important parts of the article is the section on honey. The paper explains that honey is not just a sweet substance. It is a complex natural product containing sugars, organic acids, enzymes, flavonoids, and other bioactive compounds that may influence its biological activity. In this review, honey, or some of its related compounds, was reported to show antiviral effects against several different viruses, including RSV, influenza, herpes, varicella zoster, and even, in some studies, SARS-CoV-2. This means that the scientific view of honey is not limited to its taste or energy value alone. Science is exploring whether some components of honey may also play a role in inhibiting viral growth or replication. It should be emphasized that, from a scientific perspective, honey is a far more interesting substance than many people imagine. If we were to name one bee product that stands out strongly in this article, propolis would probably be one of the most important. Propolis is a complex resinous substance that contains active compounds such as flavonoids and polyphenol. In this review, many studies are discussed on the antiviral effects of propolis, covering viruses such as herpes viruses, influenza, adenovirus, rotavirus, and some coronaviruses. The article even points out that certain compounds found in propolis, such as chrysin, quercetin, galangin, luteolin, camphorol, and apigenin, have been examined in different studies. Some reports also mention a synergistic effect between propolis and acyclovir against HSV. For a general audience, the meaning of this section is simple. Propolis is not just a traditional bee product, it is one of the most serious antiviral candidates among bee-derived products. The article also discusses bee pollen and bee bread, but the tone here is more cautious. Regarding bee pollen, the paper says that only one study on its antiviral activity was found. In that study, several bioactive compounds were isolated, and all of them showed anti-influenza activity, with luteolin giving the best result. As for bee bread, the article says that, as far as the authors found, there was also only one study on its antiviral effect, and that study was against enterovirus D68. So the message of this section is clear. Not all bee products are supported by the same level of evidence. Some, like honey and propolis, have more data behind them, while others are still in the early stages of research. Regarding royal jelly, the article says that only a few limited studies were found on its antiviral activity, including studies against SARS-CoV-2, HSV-1, and Coxsackie virus. For bee venom, the evidence discussed is broader than for royal jelly. The article mentions antiviral activity against viruses such as herpes viruses, RSV, influenza, enterovirus 71, Coxsackie virus, and some papillomaviruses. However, when it comes to beeswax, the article states very clearly that only one study was found on its antiviral potential. This part is very important because it shows that the article did not try to exaggerate the value of all bee products. Where the evidence was limited, it said so honestly. If we translate this article into a very simple everyday message, it is this. Bee products are not just traditional natural foods. Some of them truly contain active compounds that are scientifically interesting. This is especially important for the public understanding of apitherapy, because it shows that apitherapy is not based only on traditional stories or personal experiences. In some areas, it is also supported by laboratory data and even some clinical evidence. In one sentence, this article tells us that the world of bee products is far more complex and fascinating than we usually think. Honey, propolis, royal jelly, bee pollen, bee bread, bee venom, and beeswax are not just natural products. Each of them may contain a range of active compounds that science is still working to fully understand. In the next videos, we will look at each of these bee products separately and in more detail. For example, propolis on its own, or honey on its own, to see exactly what science says about each one.